Hey guys, Analog Man here for another deck profile, and as you can see from the title, we are once again looking at Machinedramon, but with a different way of doing it this time. This time we are using the old red base, which actually, surprisingly, with all the new support that we've gotten up to BT13, we have a much better way of playing this compared to the original version of Machinedramon Rush. The original version heavily relied on the EX1 Machinedramon to go basically for a lot of kills, basically. But here we have a much better way of doing it, especially now that we also have Analog Mans and we have the new Machinedramon that lets us search the top 5, which is really strong in this deck. Not only that, but having red as a base, we have access to the Guilmon that, when attacking, draws you a card, and in conjunction with the egg, you can potentially be drawing 2 cards for that, and also be removing any basically rookie that can stop you from playing Machinedramon or gaining memory, because in this build we also run the red option card Fireball, which allows us to either draw 2 cards or delete a rookie of 3,000 or less, which just happens to be the DP of almost every rookie that can stop us, which does help us set up for next turn. So if they continue to play it, we can just keep playing Fireballs and wiping them basically. And yeah, we basically end up drawing and also getting to set up everything. And in conjunction with Analog Man, you're going to be gaining memory, you're going to be discarding and everything. And then by that point, you should be able to just go for it and play Machinedramon, or not even that. You can gain enough memory to just play him down, then evolve into Chaosdramon on occasions. It's really crazy. But yeah, let's get into deck profile so you can see what I'm talking about. So for eggs, we are of course running the Digimon from EX2. This was my super old copies of Digimon, basically the alternate arts that I got from a friend. Shout out to my friend Dan for basically helping me get these, because he's the one who sold me these. This card's really busted because whenever the Digimon that it has above it is Guilmon, or Growlmon or Gallantmon, basically when attacking once per turn, you get to draw a card. So in conjunction with the Guilmon that already draws when attacking, you can combine that and draw 2 cards every single time. And of course, being a red base, it allows us access to red options. So got to run at least 4 of this, and this is basically your main egg. It's really solid. Then for rookies, we run a very small number, but we run surprisingly more than the normal Machinedramon, which at this current moment, most builds currently that have topped or have done well have usually run 8. Like the one that I used for my 4th and 3rd place for store champs ran only originally the build only ran like 10, the original one for the 4th place, and then for 3rd place I ran 8 rookies, and that actually worked out pretty well. So you know. But for this build, we are running the 4 promo Guilmons, because when attacking, trigger, draw 1. Really solid. Evolve on top of this and raising, push it up next turn, and just get it 2 draws. Really solid. Then we run 3 Solar Mons. This is mainly because one of the main, almost every single deck at this point has a way to play something and reduce costs. So this basically stops a lot of very specific decks that like to basically reduce costs in the meta, specifically Hunters and Royal Knights, which this also which stops it basically completely dead in its tracks, especially if you basically if they end up just kind of playing something else and not a Royal Knight, or they show you that they're playing Royal Knight, all you have to do is they're going to pass you to 2, so you just go, okay, cool, put them at 1. Then they basically can't do anything else at that point, and they have to either hard play a Marcus or hard play that level 4 blocker that just deletes stuff basically. So they have to basically waste memory to get rid of this, and if you have another in hand, you just do it again, and they basically just can't do anything for the turn, which sucks for them. But that's what we have to do to deal with Royal Knight and Hunters. And Hunters, they reduce their evolutions a lot, but with this basically stops them from reducing Digicross, and basically any deck that likes to do that, especially like with purple, Gizumon does that a lot, Belphamon does that a lot, so you can basically stop them from doing a lot of their plays. But yeah, you run 3 of this to do that. And then for the last rookie, we run 2 of the Rush Guilmon. This one, the only effect, honestly, is just on play. If you have a total number of cards in both players is 20, which most likely your trash will be pretty big. And in conjunction with theirs, this will basically gain Rush because of that. So you just basically have like 2 analog mans out, and then you go, oh, you go to 3, and you're like, okay, so I swung a Machinedramon, killed your dude, trashed like 2 cards, and then it's like, okay, I can't go for a game, right? But I have 3 memory, so you just go, okay, cool. So because we have 20, swing, game. So this is basically just there for a game, but also at the same time, it can evolve on top of your Guilmon, so it's an extra Guilmon just in case if you don't draw one of these, you can still evolve and draw at least 1 card, but it's mainly there to go for that last kill, basically, which is really cool. And yeah, that's basically all the rookies we run in the build. We do run 1 level 4, and that is specifically Mechanorimon from BT5. This guy is still one of, honestly, the best blockers in the entire game, mainly because on your opponent's turn, if this guy deletes a Digimon by blocking, he just unsuspends, and it's not a once per turn effect, so it's just infinite. So if your opponent is trying to swing with, like, really small guys, like especially in, like, a Rookie Rush deck or something like that, you just block everything. So this guy is a must-have, and of course, being a Black Digimon, any of your level 5s can evolve on top of this, except the BT1 Metal Greymon, because it can only Digivolve on red, which sucks, but that's the only one that we run that does that. Every other card in the deck can evolve on black, so it can evolve on this and do a lot of cool things. But yeah, we run these 3. And yeah, that's basically all for the non-level 5s. And yeah, so here we're going to go into our level 5s. First, we run, of course, 1 Metal Tyranno that helps us search when Digivolving. The top 3 gives Reboot to Machinedramon. Then we run 2 of them, actually. Pretty solid card. Giving Reboot is really strong in this format because you basically can set up and then have a bunch of Animalmans help you redirect attacks. And it only gets better in BT14, and with the starter deck coming out, it's going to make everything even better. Then we have Andromon. Andromon's really solid. Same effect as Metal Tyranno, except it gives blocker for its inherit. And then 1 Metal Mamemon, because of course does the same effect, but it gives it lets you delete something with 5 cost or less when attacking if your guy is a machine. So pretty cool. Then we run 1 Gigadramon because it has jamming. That's really cool. A really cool combo to do with this is to evolve on the top of Mechanori, swing, and since you have jamming, you don't really care unless you hit an option, and then you evolve into Machinedramon, and then you go, okay, I put you to 1, and then it reboots. So really cool. Yeah, it gives reboot for its inherent. Then we have 1 Megadramon blocker from the original black starter deck. This is mainly here just for the blocker inherent. Sometimes you do evolve it on top of Mechanori, but most of the time you're just equipping this from Chaosdramon or Machinedramon or even Chaosdramon X. Then for our first red level 5, we have the BT1 Metal Greymon, still very strong, very powerful. Gives plus 3,000. You don't really want to hard play this, but I've had really weird situations in testing where I've actually had to just hard play this card, which is really weird. But you know what? It has security +2, but you do lose 5 memory, so it's like this is like that really weird card that kind of gets you checks, but at the same time it doesn't. But it's mainly used for its inherent, giving that plus 3,000. Then we run 1. Surprisingly, I actually really like this Metal Greymon, but I could just never find the room in my my usual build of Machinedramon because there's just the space for level 5s is just really tight. This one's really cool. If you don't really use it for its on-play effect, but you use it for its inherent. Basically, whenever you delete something, or you delete a Digimon by or just actually, my bad, it's not even by battle. It's just when one of your opponent's Digimon is deleted, so either through Metal Mame or like battle or anything, you use Gain a Memory. So that actually can help you go into Chaos X, which is really cool. Yeah, and then we run 1 of the Metal Greymon from EX1 because, of course, it gives piercing, and when attacking, this effect does come up occasionally. You can delete something 4,000 DP or less, so you can potentially swing with this and set up Machinedramon by killing their rookie that's blocking you. Then we run 1 Megadramon because this guy is also treated as black, and also the fact that he gives plus 2,000 on your turn, so pretty solid. Then we run 2 of the BT8 Metal Greymon because Digivolving is still very strong. Also pops something 3,000 DP or less, so you can, of course, set up Machinedramon with that. And its inherent is really strong because it lets you attack unsuspended Digimon, which helps you use Chaosdramon to kill a lot of their stuff. Then we run 2 Megadramons from BT9 because these help us kill Tamers, and really, well, yeah, basically just really small, like 3-cost Tamers. And it does kill Digimon too, so you can kill other stuff with it too. Really cool. Only downside is that both these cost 4. Same with the Metal Tyranno that's half green and half black from BT11. This one is actually really cool, where you can evolve for 4 and then suspend their Digimon and make it so they can't unsuspend, which is actually really strong, because just like how Bloomlord does it, they can suspend opponent. This basically lets you suspend some, like maybe if they have like one stack, you basically just stop it from attacking next turn. But at the same time, you also want it for its inherent, because whenever you delete anything by battle with the Digimon that this is equipped to, you just get to trash the security. So it's kind of like basically it's Machinedramon's version of Metal Greymon X Virus, which is really strong already, but it requires you to reboot. This one just says whenever you kill something, so really strong, and that's why you have to run 2, 2, and 2, because these all do some very important things like attacking unsuspended, deleting Tamers, and just deleting Digimon and deleting their security basically. And yeah, that's basically all the level 5s we run. We run about 15 in this build because it is a rush deck and it provides a lot of resources for your analog mans. But yeah, let's get into level 6s so you can see how many we're running. First off, we're running 3 of the BT11 Machinedramon, because this guy is just really strong at the moment. The fact that when Digivolving, you get to just look at the top 5 cards, you get to either equip something with Cyborg or add it to your hand, and of course you get to add an Analog Man to hand, then you just trash the rest, which can set for other stuff. And then on deletion, you can bottom deck an Analog Man and just play a Machinedramon, so you could either play a copy of itself, but the best target will be the EX1 Machinedramon, because it gains you memory and it passes back to your turn in the process, so really cool. So we absolutely have to run 3 because this guy is super crucial for the deck. Then we run 3 Chaos Dramon, because Chaos Dramon basically helps us stop really big threats by digivolving them, and he helps us equip 3 more level 5s underneath him, and he has a protection effect, which basically prevents him from being deleted or sent back to the bottom of the deck or to your hand, as long as you can detach 2 level 5s. So really strong. You have to run at least 3 copies of this, because this guy is one of your main level 6s. Then we run 3 Chaos Dramon X's, because when he digivolves onto any of these, he gains their effects completely. So if you have both of these in the stack, you will be gaining both of their when digivolving effects immediately, meaning you get to search the top 5, equip or add a Cyborg to hand, and then add an Analog Man to hand. And then you also get to equip 3 of the stuff you discarded or from your trash, and then it gets to digivolve at the same time, and it basically becomes a giant 13 stack that can basically block almost everything. And then along with that, its effect for all turns, once per turn, especially on your opponent's turn, basically, because if it were to basically be deleted, you get to protect it if you have these other 2 underneath it, and then you go, okay, then he trashes the security. It's basically just a way to just slowly chip away at them. So having a really big version of this on the board and having it survive continuously will actually help you chip every turn. It really sucks that the all turns effect is once per turn for that, for his trashing of security. But if you can do it on their turn and your turn, you can potentially trash 2 security within 2 turns, so 1 per turn, which is really nice. But yeah, and then we run the last 2 level 6s we run are 2 Machinedramons. This Machinedramon is still really strong, and because of this new one, you can potentially play this for free and gain 5 memory in the process. Not only that, but this card is super crucial at the moment, especially against Shine, because Shine can DP reduce almost everything except for this, because it specifically says it can't be DP reduced for all turns. So basically, their Marcuses will not be able to get through if this is on the board, and especially if you have Analog Man, they basically just can't do anything at that point. That's basically all the Digimon for the deck. We do not run Ragnalord in this build because we're mainly just going for 1 stack and having it just be undestroyable, basically. The rest are option cards and tamers, so let's get into the options. So first off, we are running 4 of the Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon. Especially in this build, we are running 6, 9, and then basically, we are running basically 11 level 6s in this build. So with this, you're basically guaranteed to delete something if they hit it in security, unless you're playing against red where they just negate options. But against every other deck, this will be super live. You can just discard a Chaos Dramon, kill him, discard a Machinedramon, kill him. You will end up with duplicates in your hand with this kind of build, so this will be guaranteed to go off, which is really cool. And the main thing, of course, playing this card is to give your guy Blitz. So if you end up having to hard play this, you're going to be able to Blitz and kill their main big stack, especially against something like Belphamon. So you basically get to just attack, then you reboot, and you still have this giant stack that can protect you for a while. And then, of course, you can also Blitz because it gives Rush and Blitz, which is really strong. Yeah, so we run 4 of this. Then we run 3 Fireballs because not only does it help us draw 2, but it also helps us delete something 3,000 DP or less. Though I will warn you that this does require you either to do either or. So if they do have a rookie out, you have to delete it rather than draw. But if they don't, you're free and clear to draw 2. So really cool. And then in security, this also triggers. So you get to draw 2 if there's nothing to delete. But if there's something to delete, you get to delete it. So either way, I mean, I feel like you win regardless. So it's a really strong card. Then for the last 4 cards of the deck, of course, it is our Tamer, 4 Analog Mans, aka me, because this card is super busted. This card is really strong. The fact that you get to discard Gain of Memory and it helps you redirect with your level 6s. If you end up getting like all 4 of these on the field, you basically just win the game half the time because your opponent literally cannot get past this because every turn it just re-equips something. And then if it has this underneath, you're just going to get to play this Machinedramon or any other Machinedramon in your hand for free. And you will basically draw your entire deck. Like in testing, I've been able to draw my entire deck by like turn 3 or 4 because you just keep drawing. You go, okay, I evolve, okay, draw a card. Then you play Fireball, you draw 2 cards. Then you go and swing, draw 2, play another Fireball, do that, and then with Analog Man on the field, you're basically drawing like 3 cards per turn if you set it up right. So you're just gonna continuously just cycle through your deck and just grab everything you need to set up into Chaos Dramon or even Machinedramon. So really strong. And then at the same time, you have Mechanori to help you block. You have Solarmon to stop any deck that likes to reduce costs. I'm looking at you, Royal Knights. And then the Guilmon to basically rush for game. And yeah, this deck is actually really crazy. I got the inspiration from this by looking at a lot of builds in BT13 in the OCG, especially specifically in Asia, because some people actually opted not to go for the stack, which is actually a really cool idea because Machinedramon originally was a rush deck, so it's kind of cool to see it kind of go back to this even in BT13 because the fact that it can just go off so fast if you manage to set up properly is really cool, and the fact that you get to use a red base, which is one of the best colors in Digimon, makes it really cool. Aside from that, as I mentioned in testing, this deck is really fast. It's actually much faster, I noticed, compared to the stack version, especially if you get your pieces. If you get Analog Man and you get this, you basically get to set up super fast. And then you just get to keep going, and then once your opponent gives you too much memory, you just go, okay, let's go. Let's do this. And it's funny because Mechanori, most of the time in testing, I've seen it's always managed to somehow live in a really weird way. Like they just don't have the way to delete it, and then you just go, okay, I'm turning it into a level 5, and I go to Machinedramon. Okay, I go into Chaos Dramon, and I just equip, and I just do my thing. And then you just have Analog Man to help you kind of cycle through your deck a little bit too, and then you just build up into Chaos Dramon X, and then you just start killing them at that point because it's not a fast kill sometimes, but at the same time, it's also sometimes you can stall them to do a slow kill too. So you can actually set up much quicker sometimes compared to the stack build. But at the same time, the stack build does have the added benefit of being able to stay in raising, which is really nice. This one, it's kind of harder to do that, but at the same time, that's just how this deck works. But I just wanted to put this deck out because it's a really cool concept for Machinedramon, and it used to be able to do this kind of build. It used to do a really weird version where it ran purple base, where it would go into scatter mode, which would help you like discard and draw cards. But I feel the red base is actually much stronger because you have access to stuff that basically memory chokes your opponent much better. And of course, being able to use Guilmon is really strong. And yeah, that's basically the deck. As usual, I say, this is a template that you guys can use. I've seen so many variations on Machinedramon at this point that I know for a fact that this is a very toolbox deck and you can build it however you want. But this is just my version that I wanted to put out to show that you can use the red base still and it's still effective even in BT13. As usual, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of this deck, or any inconsistencies I didn't notice, because I'm not perfect. I'm still human, so I will make mistakes on occasions, and I will owe up to them regardless. And if that happens, it's whatever. I'm not perfect. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.